450 kilowatt charging. It has a long-range LFP battery. Yes, it's the long-range car with the LFP battery. A lot of stuff I still dislike with this car, unfortunately. Hello and welcome to Autospec and welcome to the Xpeng G6. Xpeng entered the European market 5 years ago. Yes, they have been here for 5 years. Isn't that insane to think about? 5 years is such a long time in the world of electric cars. They entered the Norwegian market with their G3 SUV 5 years ago, and that was their debut into the European market. The G3 SUV came with 50 kilowatt CHAdeMO charging. It was laughed at. A lot of the stuff looked like Tesla in the software, but it was just worse. The interior wasn't good, and there were so many issues with the early G3 SUVs in Norway. They're still on the road around, and they drive okay. This was a time when we had the Model 3. But now, 5 years later, I can tell you that things are a little bit different. 450 kilowatt charging, and some insane cool stuff with this car. It has a long-range LFP battery. Yes, it's the long-range car with the LFP battery. Isn't that cool? We are starting to see this more and more from Chinese automakers. It's raining like crazy now, so I'll get into the car soon. We are going to take a look at the Xpeng G6. There are some stuff I like, a lot of stuff I still dislike with this car, unfortunately, and we are going to go through everything in this video. We're also going to run over to the charger and charge the G6. So join me for this video on the Xpeng or Xpeng G6. 80.8 kilowatt hours of LFP battery. That's a large LFP battery, and that's why this is a long-range car. 510 kilometers VLTP in this all-wheel drive Xpeng G6. This car actually has a lower WLTP range than its predecessor, which is very, very unusual. This is because Xpeng moved from NMC chemistry to LFP chemistry, and since the energy density is lower, they kinda need to reduce the size of the battery. The total increase in charging power and the fact that it's a LFP battery is, in my opinion, so good that it doesn't really matter that we go down a little bit in energy. I think the road trip speed will be much faster due to the faster charging regardless, and that's a very, very nice benefit. So that's a large LFP battery, 450 kilowatt charging. So that's 5C, around 5C. Absolutely insane. 12 minutes from 10 to 80, absolutely destroying any Tesla, especially in Europe with our slower charging speeds. 800 volt architecture, of course. So this is a charging monster, the new Xpeng G6. This was not the case with the old G6. Entirely new battery, and as far as I know, the new SAPA 2.0 platform. Which is interesting. So that's their smart electric platform architecture, and it feels pretty like comfort oriented. It's not sporty at all, and there are some issues with that which I'm going to come back to as I go into the driving portion of this review. It has it can be optioned with massaging seats. Lane centering is standard. It has a pretty decent interior. First of all, the steering wheel is large, it's oval, and it's super awkward to hold. When you hold the steering wheel here, you hit this seam, which is annoying. I think it's too wide. It's not completely round. I wish it was like this much in. I think a much smaller steering wheel would be nice. These ones feel good. These buttons feel good. They feel similar to Neo, which is what I would actually talk a little bit about in this interior, is that it feels similar to a Neo interior. The leather on the steering wheel feels good. It's matte enough. It's not glossy, which I I actually quite enjoy about this interior. We have good ambient lights everywhere, which I do enjoy. We have gloss black on the stalks, but it's not on the touch point, so it doesn't really matter that much. We have a gear selector, which is in the correct position, in my opinion. We have a driver screen, which is great. Not the best contrast on this screen. You can clearly see the difference between here and here, which is what the screen kind of thinks is black, but it's more gray, and that's the case with this one as well. So in general, the screens doesn't really look that great when it's dark outside, because you can clearly see the contrast between here. Here is what the screen thinks is black, and here is what's actually black. So I wish they would implement a better contrast on the screen, either by using other display technology, but doesn't matter that much, it still works. The screen, like frame itself, looks amazing. It's got this a little bit thicker frame, but it's similar to like a Xiaomi car in that sense that it looks great, in my opinion. We have a digital rear view mirror, and you can just press the button to have a normal rear view mirror. And I think this is an amazing feature of this car, and something that I actually enjoy using, the digital rear view mirror and the ease of changing between a normal and a digital mirror. Amazing work. So we have this dark gray headliner, which I think is great. The material doesn't feel that amazing, but at least it's dark gray, which I do quite enjoy. So here we have an enormous mirror, which is cool, especially if you like to use these types of mirrors. You have an enormous one with great lighting, which I do actually noticed. So here we go into the vents, which are manual, and these feel good enough to just move around, which I think is nice. We have cooled wireless charging, and dual cooled wireless charging, so that's great to see. We have good cup holders here, and we have a large storage compartment here, and we have USB-A and USB-C. And honestly, it's time to end USB-A in cars. It's so annoying because you have limitations on charging speed and stuff. I would much rather have 2 USB-C ports. I think we're done with USB-A in my opinion. Here we have window switches, which do feel great. We have a speaker grill, which is well integrated. We have this cool design features inside the vents here, which I think is a nice addition. It matches the ambient lights on the side here. We have this wood panel here, which I think matches the leather in a good way. And in general, that's how it looks. The main issue with this interior is the steering wheel, which I do not like at all. These are the door handles of the Xpeng G6. They pop out like this. They pop out once you approach the car. So let's check out the rear seats. We have these ambient lights, and in general the interior is very plain, but it works. And you have the ability to take down the seats. You have child seat stuff, and in general it looks very grey inside. But let's jump in, and here we have some cheap hard plastics all the way down here, but that's probably to be expected at the price point that this car is in. In general, all the areas you touch, all the important areas, have this leather-like material everywhere. So I sit very far back in the car, and I still have a ton of space here, so the space in the G6 is good. We have good enough height here where it's not uncomfortable, but very tall people might get a little angle on their knees. So here we have no screen in the rear. We have manual vents in plastic, which I like manual vents, like mentioned. We have 2 USB-C ports. So weird that we have 1 USB-A in the front. Anyway, 2 USB-C ports is great. We have these ones and some kind of design element. In general, the materials feel good, and the interior is very plain, but it's usable, and it looks like it's very easy to clean aside from the perforation. We have some cup holders in the middle compartment here. In general, just feels very utilitarian, but probably good enough. We have low floor here, of course. This is an EV after all. Let's open the rear compartment. And here we have more space than I thought, actually. Much more space than I thought. I looked at the car and it looked kind of sloped down. But this is much more space than I thought. That's nice. So you have quite a bit of space. You have a 12-volt outlet, and you also have emergency gear and stuff under here. I guess it's not much to say about rear storage space other than showing you on video with my tripod and camera gear inside here. But yeah, looking from the kind of size of the car, this looks very good for a rear compartment. Let's check out the front. I'm excited to look at the front. So double pull on this one, and we can go here. No lock on the front, which I do like, but the problem is that we don't have a front, and that sucks. The power in sport, I will have the steering wheel in light. It has some, maybe in standard. I will have the steering wheel in standard and X pedal enabled. And X pedal is Xpeng's or Xpeng's one pedal driving. So I press the brake pedal and I go into drive, and it says auto hold is on, and it doesn't move. That's fine, that's perfect. Once I press the accelerator, like I do now, we will start moving. We're moving forward in X pedal mode. I'm not pressing the accelerator at all. And now I want to come to a smooth stop. Why doesn't it stop in one pedal mode? So I'm not pressing the accelerator now, and it keeps moving. So the issue here is that you have to press the brake pedal hard. And this is an issue that I've had with other Chinese vehicles, is that they don't understand one pedal driving. This is not how one pedal driving should be calibrated. So we go like this and then press the brake pedal, coming to a complete stop, and then it says auto hold once I press the brake pedal hard enough. So that's one of the issues with driving this car. The other issue is, as mentioned, the steering wheel. It doesn't feel great at all. It feels so large, too large. It feels like oval, and when you hold here, you're actually covering the buttons here. So sometimes I accidentally press these two buttons with my palms, which I do not like. Also, the way you hold it doesn't feel that great. You have this seam here that you get your thumb on, and honestly, it's one of the worst steering wheels I have felt in any modern car. So together, this kind of creates this not too great driving feeling, and that's so sad, because everything else is so nice about the Xpeng G6. Unfortunately, the problems doesn't stop there for me. When putting this car in reverse, it will creep at 5 km per hour. This would be fine in a world where the creep forward was also 5 km per hour, but it's not. It's 2 km per hour in X pedal mode for forward creep. That means that there is a disparity between the reverse and forward speed, and that doesn't really work for me. And the comfort is nice. You feel isolated from the road outside. The blinker sound is amazing. One of the best things with this car is the blinker sound. It's so subdued, so nice. And yeah, I really don't like the steering wheel at all. The driver assistant works on B roads like these ones. Now we are coming up to the highway, but it works on B roads. It's a little bit jerky, it's not perfect, and it's nothing like the Tesla Autopilot, which works much better on B roads than this system, it feels like. Let's try the automatic lane change. So I just activate it there. I just hold around the steering wheel just for safety, but I don't need to touch the steering wheel, which is nice. And we can go back. It works fine. It's actually one of the better automatic lane changes that I've tried. I'm about to do some charge testing on this new Xpeng G6, which is supposed to be able to charge up to 450 kilowatts, which is pretty insane. Anyway, I also see this truck charging here, and he's eating a hot dog in his truck, which is cool. And I just think that's awesome. I've been to China seeing so many trucks charging, but of course it's happening here in Norway as well. 10%. Let's plug in at this Alpitronic Hyper 400 with Phoenix contacts cables. That's the best I can do now for getting a charging speed, which is pretty good, I would say. The cables are good, the hardware is insanely good, like Alpitronics. So let's just plug in at 10% and see what happens. Beautiful charging screen here. So let's see what happens. Let's see if we get some information once the charging starts. We have all the information that we need on the screen inside the car here, so I don't need to stand outside on the Alpitronic unit. We just want to do a quick charging test here to see what happens at 10% preconditioned with this car. Again, it is around 80 kilowatt hours LFP battery, a little bit more actually. And it should be able to take over 400 kilowatts. Of course, that depends on a lot of things. But let's see what happens with this Alpitronic unit. Almost 400 kilowatt. We are maxing out the cables, getting 600 amps from the cables. The cables, in this case, the Phoenix contacts, won't be able to go over 600 amps. And when we have a battery pack voltage of 650 volts, that results in 380 kilowatt. Still a very, very good charging speed. We have been charging for 5 minutes and 38 seconds, and then we went from 10 to 41%. We are still charging at 292 kilowatts. Pretty great, I would say. Worth noting that this is an 800 volt architecture, which means it will charge slower at Tesla superchargers because it needs to use the onboard booster to boost the voltage of the superchargers, 500 volt, to closer to 600-700 volt that this car is, or 800 volt class. I will stop the charging there. 9 minutes from 10 to 57%. So that means that we wouldn't reach 80% of course in 12 minutes, but we have limitations on the charger, just a bunch of stuff that's difficult to find out what exactly impacts the charging speed. I guess you can get 12% from 10 to 80 under extreme optimal cases. Someone parked beside me here to charge, so I just wanted to stop the session before that happened. But again, insane charging performance. Absolutely great to see, especially on this LFP battery that's so robust. I think this car kind of shows that it's not just specs on paper. You have to test drive the car and you have to find out how they actually drive and how they react to different road conditions. This car is pretty great. It has great specifications. The interior is nice enough. I don't personally enjoy the design, and I have issues with driving this car that would make me not buy this car, but maybe that doesn't matter for other people. I think we can all agree that a long-range LFP battery is pretty cool. Having 80 kilowatt hours available of LFP energy, fast charging is pretty cool. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please leave any questions down below.